Hello, my name's John Mears, and this is your 7 steps to marketing success for painters and decorators. We are now on step number 5, video number 5, how to attract better customers. So, here's a great quote that I like. Your brand is everything. The quote is, you attract what you are, not what you want. And this is hugely important for what we're going to discuss today because it's all about brand and it's about how you can change what you're doing to attract better quality customers. So, what is brand? Well, brand is essentially everything you put out into the world about your business. It's who you are, it's how you dress, it's how you tackle things, it's how you talk to people, it's everything, it's all encompassing. A great example of brand and how it can affect things is, have you ever walked into a clothing store or a jewelry store or something like that? You've just walked into a designer store, and before you even look at the prices, you know it's going to be expensive. You can tell by the look and the feel of the shop and how it's all laid out. You know, it's not like when you walk into Primark or something and there's just piles of clothes all over the floor. You walk into a Primark, even if you've never been in one before, you'd walk in and you'd immediately go, yeah, it's going to be cheap in here. You're going to get some pretty cheap clothes. But you walk into designer stores and it's very minimalist and everything's quality and everything's built properly and the staff are dressed nicely and you're approached properly. Everything that goes into it just makes you immediately go, it's expensive in here, and you get ready for it and you understand the value behind it. So that's what brand is, and that's really important for us to tap into that so that we can attract the best sort of customers. You don't you don't find a lot of crossover. People tend to work themselves out. If you go into a store and it's way too expensive for you, you tend to leave. Expensive stores tend to attract people that have got money, and cheap stores attract people that want a bargain. So the way that those stores present themselves affects the type of customers they attract, and this is something that you as a business can do. So how do you build a brand? What should you build it on? Well, number one, you should build it on your values. And this is really important because, especially in a small business, and if you're a painter and decorator, you need your brand message to be completely congruent with who you are and what your values are. So, and you can't mix anything up on here. So think about who you are, what's your value, your values. You know, it's going to be honesty, integrity, attention to detail. It's being loyal to customers. It's not leaving a job until it's done. These are all typical characteristics of a good painter and decorator, and I'm sure that they're characteristics that you associate with yourself. So take the time to understand everything about that, understand yourself, what are your values, and then you can start to build your brand on that, and you can start to build everything around those values, and it will make for a much happier working life. The next thing, the final thing we'll talk about is don't muddle your message. And what I mean by this, it goes back to, we talk about having your brand in line with your personal values. And this needs to be throughout everything you do. So a lot of decorators will be frustrated that their level of skill in the work that they produce and the finish is off the scale brilliant. It's perfect. They go above and beyond for all customers. They deliver an incredible finish, and yet they keep attracting the lower end of customers that they don't really want. And at this point, you need to look, does the rest of your branding match the skill and quality of your work? Because if it doesn't, then that's why you're attracting the wrong sort of customer. If Prada wanted to sell a £5,000 handbag and they stuck it in Primark, they wouldn't sell any. They'd put it in the shop and everyone in Primark would walk in, see this handbag for £5,000, and be like, what a rip-off, I'd never do that, blah, 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 blah. And that's because everything around doesn't fit. It doesn't, it's a muddled message, and this is what you need to avoid. So if you want to charge premium prices, then you need to understand that everything else you do needs to be premium too. And this can be to the quality of your business cards, the quality of the paper you print your quotes on, the clothes that you arrive in to do quotations. Do you have branded uniforms? All of these things. Do you have a sign written van? Is your van always clean and tidy? Remember that customers choose you before you've done any work. That the sale is made before you've even opened a tin of paint. So the quality of your work doesn't necessarily, just because you're brilliant at the job, doesn't mean that you'll attract the right customers. It's everything else needs to be that same level of quality in order to attract the right customers. Okay, I hope this helps. Next video will be video number 6, so almost there, step 6 out of the 7-step program, and this will be 10x your advertising results with one simple change. So I'm going to tell you one thing, that's 2, one thing that you can do which will just blow your sales up in all of your advertising. So join me again for that. I hope today's helped. Any questions, get in touch as always, and visit my website jmears.co.uk/ebook, and you can get a free copy of the 60-page ebook that accompanies this video series. Stick your email address in, hit submit, it automatically gets sent to you. It'll give you loads more detail on all this sort of thing. Hope it helps. Again, have a good one. Cheers, guys.